Well, the pound moved higher on the foreign exchange markets this morning when the morning's jobs figures were published. Stronger than expected wages growth, the real showstopper there, raising prospect of further interest rate rises for the Bank of England. Sterling, as you can see there, it's largely given back those gains as the morning's gone on against the US dollar, more or less unchanged now, up 0.1% against the euro right now. On the equity markets, there was mixed trade in the Asia-Pacific region overnight, with gains in Sydney, Tokyo and Mumbai, but declines in Hong Kong, Shanghai and in Singapore. Well, in Europe, equities have opened to the downside largely this morning. All of the main continental European indices in negative territory right now. There are some gainers, though. Talking point this morning includes the Turkish appliances group Archie. You might recall we had the chief executive on the programme not very long ago. Well, their shares are up 5.5% in Istanbul, and that's after it announced it's pooling its European businesses with those of the US group Whirlpool. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is in negative territory as well. It's off just under 0.25%. The big dollar earners have been weighing on the index this morning. In terms of percentages, well, the biggest faller is Ocado following that trading update. There aren't an awful lot of stories for traders to hang their hats on otherwise. Outside the FTSE 100, there are a few more announcements of interest. Hays, the staffing group, its shares are up 2.5% on a trading update. The house builder Crest Nicholson, well, that was in positive territory earlier on. It's off 1/3% right now. It's got an update out this morning as well. As for the oil price, well, that has clawed back half of Monday's losses. A barrel of Brent crude will currently set you back $84.91 a barrel. That is up 0.5%. Well, joining me now is the chief strategist for Brew and Dolphin, Guy Foster. Guy, good to see you this morning. We had this fascinating raft of data overnight from China, poor GDP numbers and a decline in the population.
Yes, I mean, you've got some data covering the very short term and some data signalling really what's going to be a multi-decade trend. So at both ends of the spectrum. To a certain extent, a lot of this is kind of irrelevant because obviously what we know in terms of the short term is that China has been coming out of this lockdown. Emergence from the lockdown, which in the West triggered, a lot of economic activity, has had the opposite effect in China because there's still a great deal of anxiety about the spread of the virus, and that is probably something that's going to continue over the coming weeks. They're going into this Lunar New Year holiday. Traditionally, that's an opportunity for a lot of travel throughout China, and travel, as we know, means spread when it comes to COVID. So there's a lot of challenges in the very near term for China coming out of this difficult COVID zero policy.
But what about this population decline? I mean, there was a great piece in the FT yesterday by Leo Lewis, the Asia business editor, and he pointed out that actually Japan started going through this a few years ago, and it's almost affected the sort of confidence of the population to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because China's population has been on, a very steady positive trajectory for a long time. We've all known that this was going to happen, but the last time China's population declined was 1961, as I think you mentioned earlier. Of course, that was completely different. That was about a very high mortality rate. This is about a low birth rate. This is about an inability to get families forming at a young enough age, and a reluctance amongst people to start their families and to have enough children. It's something, of course, that we can look at happening in China. We've seen it happening in Japan. It's also something that we need to be aware of because it's happening in Europe as well. And population growth is a very significant determinant of GDP. So it will be a headwind for economic growth wherever these trends form.
Now, in terms of corporate news today, there isn't a massive amount, but you lighted on Experian, who had numbers out this morning.
Yeah, I mean, Experian's obviously a great company involved in credit scoring. It was a little bit underwhelming, the update. I mean, it's just a trading update, so we haven't got a huge amount of granularity. And to a certain extent, we knew it was going to be difficult because a lot of their revenue comes from the US mortgage market. And even in the half-year results, they were pretty open about the fact that, as we all know, US mortgage business is right on its knees at the moment as a result of the increases in interest rates.
Absolutely. I mean, we've had all the big trading updates from a lot of the Wall Street banks over recent days. What have you taken away from the commentaries there about prospects for the US in particular?
Yeah, I mean, normally you have, or what we've grown used to over the last year or so is a really a good interest rate story of rising net interest margins. So basically, banks become a bit more profitable as interest rates go up. During those periods of volatility, the banks have provided a bit of protection through their trading activities. Since the market's been a bit more sort of up and down rather than just straight down, the trading performance has been more mixed. The interest performance has been difficult as well because banks are having to work quite hard to retain the depositors that they need in order to drive their lending. And then the final part of the picture is deal flow, so investment banking revenue, and that, as we can imagine in the current environment, has been really poor.
Absolutely. Guy, got to leave it there, I'm afraid. Good to see you this morning. Thank you. Still to come here on Ian King Live, we're going to be going back to Davos with our economics and data editor, Ed Conway. Don't go away.
HS Housing Estate. Make that move now this festive season to your new home address at GHS Housing Estate. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimatamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Make that move now, this festive season, to your new home address at GHS Housing Estates. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
To show them you got the Coco set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
While the others keep on talking, we keep on rocking. The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your
This is
smartphone.
Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and The Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade. Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hands. The hand that made me who I am.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
Yesterday.
You are listening to Starr Radio Morning Show.
And that's what makes you great.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute you and welcome you to the Tuesday edition of the Morning Show in a very cold UK and specifically London. Well, let me say good morning to my team this morning. Mr. Olayomi working behind the scenes. I can tell you shortly that tomorrow he's going to be live on. And to Mr. Francis Guy, my able producer, pulling all the strings, making sure everything is taken along nicely. The only thing that is not done is that it's not making the studio keep warm, but he's working on that one as well. So I'm chilling like no man's business. But hey, I'm here to serve you breakfast. Or let me call it brunch, whichever is applicable. But from now till 12:30, I will be your anchor man, delivering on my promise, making sure I bring you all the news from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. All of you men. But brace yourself. If you are standing, hold on to something. If you are sitting, sit very comfortably, buckle up and get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is applicable, and then let's take this journey. And that's what next. Play in the background something from Edith Morrison. But today is the 17th day of January, the year 2023. Time now 10:49 from the House of London. Yes, I told you, my able producer. Yes, I told you that he's trying to keep the studio warm, and he's done that. I'm feeling the warmth in my hands now. Thank you very much, Mr. Francis Guy. All right, now let's move on quickly. Play in the background something from Edith Morrison. What makes you great?
You hold the world in your hands.
Okay, the quote for the day says, have a plan and remain firmly committed to your plan, values, and goals, even if you encounter some opposition. Those are the plans that you want to embark on. Yes, life throws challenges, and what? Life throws lemons or whatever. You throw lemons or lime your way, you prepare or you make a lemonade out of it. So take advantage of whatever opportunities, but don't quit. You can rest a bit though, but don't quit. Okay then. Bishop Adesina, massive good morning to you. Reverend Momo, good morning to you as well. And massive good morning to the one and only Felix, my brother, all the way in Aberdeen. I hope you're doing well, sir. Mr. Beneza Hammond in South Africa. Chantal, and you all the guys in that office, I salute you in Cape Town. I hope you're all doing good. Okay, when it comes to the weather front, this afternoon will continue cold and bright for most, with just a few patches of cloud around in places, light or gentle winds expected. Now tonight will be clear for the most part, but some patchy cloud looks to move in from the north later on in the night towards dawn. A cold and breezy night expected as well. Top temperature is going to be 3 degrees, the lowest is going to be -3. UV level low, pollution low. Sunset 16:24 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:58 hours. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast. Let me take you straight to the travel updates as well. So stay tuned, don't you go away. Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, so keep navigated, I promise I'll born. Now on the travel this morning, yes, on the underground this morning, well, a few incidents here and there. District line has got past suspension, Elizabeth line minor delays, Jubilee line severe delays, Metropolitan line past suspension and severe delays there as well, Piccadilly line severe delays, so please check before you leave. All the others, good service. Now on the London overground as well, we've got past suspension and minor delays there. Let me bring you a bit of details from that. No service Richmond to Willesden Junction due to a faulty train at Richmond. The minor delays between Willesden Junction and Stratford. Good service on the rest of the other routes. Okay, I'm moving on straight to the major roads in London. A4, A40, Central London red routes have all got closures, and then A12, A2, North Circular, A406 and South Circular A205 have all got serious delays, so please check before you leave. On the river bus, I can tell you assuredly good service there, and then London Cable Car good service there as well. But when it comes to the London, the National Rail, few incidents here, lend me your ears. Now, first haul trains are minor delays, First Transparent Express minor delays, Great Northern, Great Western Railway, Heathrow Express, London Northeastern Railway, Lumo, ScotRail, and have all got minor delays. Now, Southeastern and Thameslink have also got minor delays. But Southwestern Railway has got severe delays, so please check before you leave. That aside, all the others have got good service. And as I would do all the time, as you know I do. Once again, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes in what? On the roads.
Make that that move now this festive season to your new home address at GHS Housing Estate. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, 6 minutes to the top of the hour. Call it 5 minutes to the top of the hour. And let me bring you the Global Trotting time where we bring you all the news that is making the rounds, or the session where we bring you all the news that is making the rounds across the globe. So lend me your ears once again. Okie dokie do. Starting from here in the UK, double-decker bus crash sparks major incident. The bus overturned in Somerset as icy conditions caused problems on roads in parts of the UK. I don't know how it did happen, but you can see it lying on its side. Fortunately, it wasn't in maybe a valley or something where it would have tumbled, but it just lying on its side. So I don't know how it skidded that way. Train drivers to go on strike in February. Some of the stories making their pay rises at fastest pace for over 20 years. Wages rose at their fastest pace since 2001, excluding pandemic, but still lag behind rising prices. It's one of the stories. And Brixton Academy guards says colleagues took bribes. Hundreds of people without tickets were regularly pay cash to get in, a whistleblower has said. And I knew for sure that was what was happening. You know, I don't know who were at the door, but now the co-pilot husband died in 2006 plane crash as well. Anjuk Kachiwada was co-piloting the Yeti airline flight when it smashed into a gorge near Pokhara. It's one of the stories making the rounds across the globe. Okay, a China population falls for first time since 1961. The birth rate fell to 6.7%. Yes, birth per 1,000 women, the lowest it has ever been. And then we need Western tanks. My tanks old as mean. Ukrainians on the front line call for hundreds of modern tanks as the West debates new deliveries. And no visitor locks for Biden's home, says White House. Republicans demand a list of visitors to Delaware home where classified files were found. Okay, and Wagner Group commander requests asylum in Norway. That's a serious one. Andrew Medvedev says he fled Wagner after witnessing war crimes while serving in Ukraine. That is one. Well, we'll tell you more about that in a moment. And then still going on, dozens accused of a bid to abolish Brazil democracy. Lots more going to be coming your way from there as well. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Malawi schools reopen after deadly cholera outbreak. Now, health ministers say infections in schools will reduce due to improved sanitation facilities, and some more stories making the rounds there as well. Now, BBC has launched 2023 Komla Dumo Award. The BBC is seeking a future star of African journalism for the BBC News Komla Dumo Award 2023. Komla Dumo who passed some years back. Okay. And then Mandela's grandson is in African football political row. An investigation has begun into a speech made by Zwelithini Mandela at the Cannes opening ceremony in Algeria, held in a stadium named after his grandfather. Well, more going to be coming your way from there. And Somali forces take key coastal town from Al-Shabaab, and South Africa faces legal action over power crisis. Nigeria health influenza reveals brain tumor diagnosis. Some of the stories making the rounds there. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, probably Federal government in breach of court order, IPOB is saying, okay, and IPOB rejects Soludo's offer for Kano's surety and condemns the federal government impunity. Those are some of the stories making the round. And Peter Obi dragged to court over alleged dual citizenship, faces disqualification. Yes, now they see that he's going to cause them lots of trouble. Now they are bringing in that, well, confusing his PDP as INEC takes a tough decision and men's candidates list in the top hierarchy. The 3 Nigerian wealthier than 83 million others, Oxfam is saying. And Chatham House, Obi was very stingy. Kenneth Okunko is saying. Saraki reveals why Peter Obi's administration will be disastrous. Well, is it that they are scared of Peter Obi and the momentum that is with him now? Well. 2023 election will be fight to finish in Rivers, Wike declares. And then Obi's speech at the Chatham House, I'll be telling you more about that in a moment. Now, thankful for life after Charles Okocha survives ghastly car crash in Lagos. Some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria. But as I said, tomorrow, God willing, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi live on the show for the first time for the year 2023. And I can tell you, there's going to be Niger Voices as well, the maiden edition of that program as well, coming your way. All right, so moving on to some other stories. Search underway for 50 women abducted in Burkina Faso. Security forces are searching for about 50 women kidnapped by suspected jihadists in insurgency hit northern Burkina Faso. A regional governor is saying Morocco violent clashes during evacuation of migrants in Casablanca. And then Somalia, 11 soldiers killed in Shibab attack on military camp, as one of the stories making the rounds there. Amid road safety concerns, Senegalese transport unions gear up for strikes. Well, let's see what is going to happen on that front. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In January 31, debt exchange deadline will not be met. Dr. Theo Achampong is saying this debt recovery and exchange thing that seems to be going on in Ghana. Well. Debt exchange, we are elevating it to a legal matter. That's what the minority leader in parliament is saying. And pensioner bondholders forum threatens to picket at Ministry of Finance. As Wasi MP reports constituency chairman's murder allegation to party hierarchy and the police. The PRC increases electricity and water tariffs effective February 1. Meanwhile, the people are lingering or wandering in abject poverty there. And let me say good morning to Atukwame. I hope you're doing very, very well, sir. It's been quite a long time, and I hope all is well with you. Now, petrol now sells at 13.9 Ghana cedis, with diesel going for 15.6 per liter. Is it high or is it low? I'll be telling you more about that in a moment. But wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't you go away. Brian a champion for Agriculture Ministry, sticker for finance, the expected moves in a Kufuado first reshuffle. Is that going to take place, or is that somebody was saying yesterday that, well, the president flew out of the country with the list of the reshuffling or reshuffle cabinet? But, well, is he back? Has he brought the list back? What is happening exactly there? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. National Cathedral Kufuado seeking to leave a monument in his honor. Theologian is saying, well, what better monument could you have left for people to say that now we are able to go about our activities? We have enough to eat. And we know that it was God who helped us to do that. But than building a monument where people have to now travel from where to there. How many people will be traveling from the north all the way to the south there, the capital, to come to the National Cathedral to come and pray? How many times in a year? Once in a year? Are we behaving like people who the Jews at the time who have to go to Jerusalem to go and pray? But what did Jesus say? Those of you with faith or of the faith, what did Jesus say? Jesus said that, well, the time is coming, the time is now that those who worship God might have to worship in spirit and in truth. Now you don't need to go to Jerusalem or go to the mountains as the Samaritans were doing, but wherever you are, you worship God, worship him in spirit and in truth. And that was the way. So what do you think about all that? Well, a lot more going to be coming your way in a moment, but wherever you are from now till 12:30 when I bring the program to a close, it's going to be a smash of a program. So stay tuned. Let's enjoy this music from the one and only Denzel Prempe, and it says, there is nothing, noko bear. There is absolutely nothing. Enjoy it, and I will be back with you. Stay tuned.
Come on now, guys. Come on. Are you ready? Oh yeah. I want to change it a little bit. All right. I don't know how to, but I know how to groan in the spirit, but not with my legs. All right. Come on. Come on. Ah, yeah. I see you. I see you.
online 24/7.
Archie on Starr.
We
that there is nothing that our God can't do. Noko beni nyumonya afe. But wherever you are, yes sir, you can do me some good. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Even as I took one in a brown eye man. Yes. I hope you are doing very, very well once again. To Mr. David Kuche, I salute you. Dr. Martin, good morning to you. Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, I hope you are all doing good. And let me say massive morning and a special one to Mama Lee. Mrs. Helena Nkuma, I hope you are doing good as well. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And good morning to it is Mary Bruce, Mom. Good morning to you. I hope you are doing very well. And to the apostle himself, Brother HB. Special good morning goes all the way to MK. Reverend Mrs. Ado. I hope you are doing good and the family as well. To my money man himself, Mr. Dan Tebbery, CEO of GL Accountancy Services. He comes your way every Friday with the money hour. In these times where you need some advice to be able to tick along nicely, we'll be joining us on Friday, God willing, to bring you the money hour. Wherever you are, just stay tuned, don't tag the dial. We're going to be taking a quick break, and once we come back, I'll be bringing you updates from Nigeria. But as I did announce earlier on, tomorrow, God willing, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki on. And Niger Voices, for the first time, will be coming on in the year 2023. There's lots to be discussed there as well. So to the family there, Yomi, and the crew at home, I say good morning to you. A special good morning to Sister Sandra and the little one, the little princess. I hope you all doing very, very well. Rosita, good morning to you and all the Hammonds across the globe, wherever you might be, our listeners in the US and across the globe. I salute each and every one of you. Anthony Adedeji Aziz, good morning.
Make that move now, this festive season, to your new home address at GHS Housing Estate. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimatamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
Welcome back to the program, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 13 minutes past the top of the hour. On your screens at the moment, yes, this afternoon exactly at 1:30, Bibi Clement will be coming away with Bibi Means Business. So make a date with her. She comes your way every Tuesday from 1:30. Well, if you want to talk about your business, how to make it out financially, how to, get cutting across the business world, she will be telling you more about that as well. She's written a new book, and that book is how to make wealth or wealth creation on the God's way. She'll be telling you more about that. Last week, she reviewed a part of the book when it came to the book review during the course of the program. So make sure that your dials are logged in and you listen to that program, because it's going to, equip you greatly for this year 2023, in which we are, where we know that the skies are our limits. Blank check has been given to you. What do you write on? And how do you get it? Now, you want to know more? Make sure you join Bibi Clement this afternoon, exactly at 1:30 on BB Means Business. But it's all coming away from Star Radio UK. It's now time for us to go updates from Nigeria. Let me tell you what is happening on that front. Well, Peter Obi has been dragged to court is one of the stories making the rounds there. And then Peter Obi is replying Saraki as well. A lot more. Which I'm going to be telling you more about. It's quite an interesting thing. But gearing closer to the 2023 election. But the question is, will it take place? Will it take place at all? Yesterday, the DSS were saying, or the SSS, whichever they call them, were saying that, there was information saying that, they are still in pursuit of the governor of the Bank of Nigeria. Well, are they still? Well, the court ruled that, come on, get off your hands. I don't want to use some words, dirty hands. Now, get your hands off him. But they are saying that, they are still looking for him for financing of terrorism. Do they have any evidence to the sort? Maybe it is true, maybe it's not true. But remember the late professor who died, Dr. Malafia. Is it? I've forgotten the name. Now, if you're listening to me, feed me with that information. He did say that, there are some big hooks who are behind it. And was saying that, So is it one of them? Is it one of that Dr. Malafia? Is it Dr. Malafia? I hope that I got the name right. Was talking about at the time. Is it one of them? But if not, and they're just trying to use that to, as a Ghanaian man would say, hanya the people, then, I think something has to happen. Kwankwaso campaign coordinator dumps NNPP for PDP. Hey, cross carpet is taking place right now. Now, people are looking at their options and thinking that, you know what, if this thing is not going to work, I better jump ship before we crash or sinks. Now, election will be fight to finish in Rivers. That is what Wike is also saying there. But I'm going to bring you details of all that in the next moment. It is dangerous for Nigerians to hand over power to Tinubu. That's what Peter Obi, that's what Atiku is saying. What does Atiku mean by that? So he wants to say that, you know what? I am the best candidate for you. So don't hand it to them, but I'll be telling you more about that in a moment. And then one other story: federal government in breach of court order. We all know that, but do they care? They are a law to themselves. We'll be telling you more about all that in a moment. It's all coming your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, so let's start it from here. Now, Obi was very stingy. Kenneth Okonkwo is saying. Sorrel says, a veteran Nollywood actor and spokesperson of the Peter Obi Dati Presidential Campaign Organization, Kenneth Okonkwo, has said that his principal, Peter Obi, was so stingy that he answered all the questions put across to him at Chatham House without optioning them to his sides or his aides. Obtaining them to his aides. Now, Obi, just like the other leading presidential candidates for the forthcoming election, was at Chatham House to speak on his plans for Nigeria if elected the president and sworn in later this year. Appearing on a TV show today, Okonkwo said Obi was so stingy that he couldn't share his questions. He answered them all by himself. What is he trying to say there? There were others who couldn't answer questions and therefore were saying, can you answer the question for me? Oh, well, but now we have witness in Nigeria where some candidates went on international molestation of our common psyche. Now, they went there in their generosity, shared all the questions and answered none. Now, have you not seen the difference between a man who is responsible and a responsive as a leader who is going to bring transformative and purposeful leadership in Nigeria with a man who shifts all the responsibilities to others? Well, is it a form of delegation, making others answer your questions for you, or you reckon that, he is up to it, up to the scratch, he is on top of his game? What do you think about that? Well, so coming away from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, Peter Obi has reacted or replied Saraki on a statement that he gave. Now, Peter Obi replied Saraki's claim his government will be disastrous without structure. Now, he goes on further to say, Kenneth Okonkwo, the spokesperson to the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, has replied former Senate President Bukola Saraki, who recently claimed that Obi cannot make it if elected as president without having members in the National Assembly. Now, speaking during an interview on some TV network as well, Saraki expressed the fear that if Obi is elected president in 2023, his administration will be characterized by disaster. The former lawmaker said the Labour Party has no candidate to fill up the parliamentary seats, which according to him may not go well if the party wins the presidential polls. Now, is it going to be like what happened here in France, where we have Macron coming in? He didn't have parliamentary candidate, let me put it that way, but he managed to just and then after that they managed to fill in the place, and then he's been ruling ever since. But the former lawmaker said the Labour Party has no candidate to fill up the parliamentary seats, which according to him may not go well if the party wins the presidential poll. Now, but Okonkwo, appearing on the same platform on Tuesday, said the structures being wrapped about by the People's Democratic Party and All Progressive Congress (APC) are those of criminality, poverty, insecurity, scarcity of fuel, and bad leadership. He said that Obi was coming in to destroy such structures and take the country to a new height of productivity and exportation. Now, the structures that the PDP and APC have are structures of criminality, structures of corruption, structures of fuel scarcity, structures of poverty, structure of insecurity, and structure of bad leadership. He said, quote and unquote. He goes on further to say, I can go on and on. So if Obi is part of that structure, you wouldn't see me being a spokesman to him. And that is why he is coming in to destroy such structures. Obi is a man already yielding to democratically ingenuine change. Now, when he was a member of the House of Assembly, he had no members of the House of Assembly, none. But he goes on further to say, he said none. But he was able to get everything he wanted approved by the House of Assembly. He goes on further to say, what you need to be in control is not having members of the National Assembly as present, as important as it may be, but what you need to do, what you need is political will. What you need is strong institution. Obi is going to provide leadership. No National Assembly can move against Obi because he has some misconduct. He has to misconduct himself first. He didn't misconduct himself in Anambra State for 8 years, not even taking the land that he is entitled to or pension that he is entitled to. Now, how can he misconduct himself when he becomes president? Obi is coming. He's going to have members in the National Assembly. But what we are interested in is a new Nigeria. Saraki has made no point. Is the story or the statement that has come in reply or response to Saraki's statement saying that Obi's presidency will be a disastrous one. That is all coming your way from Starr Radio, okay? 11:23 the time, the morning show, the program. I am Archie. Updates from Nigeria. Now, moving on to some other stories as well relating to Peter Obi. Now, Peter Obi dragged to court over alleged dual citizenship and is facing disqualification. How true is that story? The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Peter Obi, is facing a fresh disqualification suit at the Federal High Court in Abuja over his alleged possession of dual citizenship of 2 countries. Obi was dragged before court by another political party, the National Rescue Movement, which among others alleged that the presidential candidate is no longer fit, proper, and disqualified for the highest plum office in Nigeria on account of his dual citizenship. The plaintiff in the fresh suit against Obi is praying to the court for an order to disqualify him from the presidential race on the ground of breach of 1999 Constitution. In the suit marked FHC ABJ /CS/1842/2022, the Labour Party candidate was accused of acquiring citizenship of Dallas in Texas, United States of America, in breach of Section 121 and 137 of the Nigerian Constitution. The party, through its counsel, Mohammed Danjuma, asked for an order of perpetual injunction restraining the Independent National Electoral Commission from recognizing, dealing, or affording Peter Obi any right or privilege to stand for presidential election. Is it that they are now so scared of him that they have to do everything and anything in their power just to stop him from getting that power? So why is this party, what, National Redemption Party or National Rescue Movement? My goodness, parties are popping up. But well, instead of the National Rescue Movement to go on the path of winning or going on a campaign to make sure that they win election, or maybe yes, they win some seats or something, they think that their best fight is to get Peter Obi out and say that, you know what, he's a dual, he's got a dual citizenship and therefore he cannot be right for us. Well. Those who have got one nationality, how have they treated you so far? Well, this is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, do you know Malawi accuses Tinubu of sponsoring Atiko's former aide, Michael Achimogo, to blackmail him? Interesting. An allegation has been leveled against the presidential candidate of All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, accusing him of sponsoring a former aide of People's Democratic Party flag bearer Atiku Abubakar, identified as Michael Achimogo. Information coming through said that the Director of Public Affairs of the PDP Presidential Campaign Organization, Dino Malayi, has alleged that Tinubu was sponsoring Achimogo to blackmail his principal Atiku. According to Malayi, Achimogo was never an aide to the PDP flag bearer. Therefore, the allegation he leveled against the former vice president should be dismissed. Achimogo opened up about Atiku's grand corruption, promising that there is more to come in subsequent videos he plans to release. Achimogo urged Nigerians not to vote for Atiku for the sake of their children and grandchildren, warning Atiku's attack dogs not to pursue him because there are affidavits of facts that will be released if such should happen. Well, now everybody seems to be bringing the dirty laundry of their opponents out. Well, how true is that? Is he being coerced to do so? Is he being bribed to do so? Well, Kwankwaso, campaign coordinator, has also dumped the NNPP for PDP. Everybody is looking at their fortunes, you know. You think that, well, if this one is not going to work, let me look at the other prospects. Well, Babayo Liman, the Bauchi coordinator of the presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, Rabiu Kwankwaso, has dumped the party for the People's Democratic Party. The story continues to say that Mr. Liman, the Northeast Zonal Secretary of the NNPP, announced his resignation at a news conference on Monday in Bauchi. I want to formally inform the general public, especially members of the NNPP in Bauchi State. Thank you very much. In Bauchi State, Northeast, and Nigeria at large, that I have resigned as a member of the NNPP, stated Mr. Liman. I have also resigned as the zonal secretary of the Northeast, as well as a member and coordinator of the Presidential Campaign Council of the NNPP presidential candidate Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso. Now he added, let the general public know I have withdrawn my membership from the NNPP. I am no more with the NNPP from today. Mr. Liman claimed that he ditched the NNPP for the PDP alongside many of his supporters, adding that the party lacked the needed structure to win elections in Nigeria. So maybe he's thinking that, well, I think the win or the momentum is with the PDP. But who is the momentum with? Is it with the Labour Party that everybody is trying to do everything possible to derail their chances of winning the elections? Well, 11:29 the time. One more story, and then we'll bring the updates from Nigeria to a close. But I promise you one thing for sure: tomorrow, God willing, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi coming on for the updates. And then Niger Voices, the maiden edition for the year 2023, that's going to be taking place there as well. But the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra has rejected the offer of the governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, to stand as surety for its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, to be released, saying the federal government is in breach of the order of its own court. Now, while welcoming the call by Soludo to release Kanu unconditionally, the group said the call was belated, coming 3 months after the Court of Appeal discharged and acquitted its leader. It added that the governor should rather call on the federal government to respect its own court and grant Kanu freedom. Now, this was contained in a statement by the Media and Publicity Secretary of IPOP, Ima Powerful, made available to journalists in reaction to Soludo's appeal to the federal government. Thank you very much, Mr. Francis Guy. He's keeping me warm, he's keeping me warm. If not, I'll be freezing like no man's business. All right, then. Now, Soludo's appeal to the federal government to release detained IPOP leader to him, the statement partly read, we welcome the call by the governor of Anambra State, Charles Soludo, for the unconditional release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But the said call for the unconditional release of our leader is belated and coming 3 months and 1 day after the Court of Appeal, Abuja Judicial Division, in its erudite judgment delivered on the 13th day of October 2022, discharged and acquitted the leader of the IPOP and all the remaining 8-count amended charge preferred against him. The court consequently directed for his unconditional release in the landmark judgment. It further prohibited the federal government of Nigeria from further detaining our leader or even presenting him for trial or any indictment or offense whatsoever before any court in Nigeria. IPOP noted that its leader no longer had any form of indictment or pending charge that required a surety, hence the issue of bail did not arise. Okay, the group alleged that the federal government was in breach of its own court order. Now, it is important, therefore, to clarify that our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has no form of indictment or even charge pending against him today before any court by the authority of this judgment. The issue of granting bail or otherwise do not arise by any stretch of consideration or imagination because it is the federal government that is today in breach of this order of Superior Court of competent jurisdiction. Well, who can say that the federal government should obey the law when the courts have said that they should and they decided they didn't want to? Well, this and a lot more we'll be sharing with you during the course of the days and the weeks to come. But as I said earlier on, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi joining in tomorrow on updates from Nigeria, and then the Niger Voices will follow in the evening as well. So once again, let me say thank you very, very much. We'll be telling you more about the Yoruba Nation agitation that is going on, what happened. There's lots more that we're going to be talking about. The unity in the the leadership of the Yoruba Nation, the IPOP, and everything there. He's going to be telling us more about all that in tomorrow's program. So make sure your dials are logged on and you not miss a thing on Starr Radio UK. Okay, so let's now take a break, and once we come back, I'll bring you some lovely tune. This time wrong from my place, my other. I've got dual citizenship. I've got multiple citizenship. Yeah, one from Nigeria as well, and Yoruba Nation as well. So I'm going to be bringing you more on that front. But let's take a quick break, and once we come back, we'll continue with the program. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Make that move now this festive season to your new home address at GHS Housing Estates. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4-bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwasi, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Vedasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Okay, stand up for the right, stand up for your right. Wherever you are, if you feel being marginalized, whatever it is, I want you to stand up for your right. But use wisdom to do it. Alright then? Okay, now 11:41 from the hearts of London is the time. Now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds across the other parts of the world today. So wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't even think of touching the dial. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And as I did say, it's at 1:30. We'll be having BB Clement coming your way with BB Means Business. But now, it is time for us to look at some of the other stories making the rounds on the African continent. Now, Malawi schools reopen after deadly cholera. It's one of the stories making the rounds. And Mandela grandson in political football, grandson in football political row. I'll be bringing you more on that front as well. And then you know there have been outages, power outages in South Africa. But well, the South African government seems to be facing some legal actions. And I'll be telling you more about that in a moment. But let's take it from here. Now, Komla Dumo, the late broadcaster, journalists from across Africa are invited to apply for the award, which aims to uncover and promote fresh talent from the continent. The winner will spend 3 months at the BBC headquarters in London, gaining skills and experience. Application closes on the 14th of February at 23:59 GMT. The award was established to honor Komla Duma, an exceptional Ghanaian broadcaster and presenter for BBC World News, who died suddenly aged 41 in 2014. That long, my goodness, almost 10 years. Now, Duma's widow, Kwansima Dumo, said she was proud of her husband's impact at the BBC and also said her family were thankful to the BBC for remembering him through the prize. The BBC is encouraging journalists across Africa to apply for the prize, which seeks to promote and celebrate outstanding journalistic talent living and working on the continent. Komla Dumo was an inspiration to me, so to win the award and take part in his legacy has been an honor. That's a statement coming from Dingandaba Jonah Boyaya, who won the award in 2022. All right then. As well as receiving training, the successful candidate will have the opportunity to travel to a country in Africa to report on a story that they have researched with a report broadcast to the BBC Global audience. Known for championing robust, dynamic journalism and for his commitment to reporting African stories comprehensively and authentically, Dumo made a significant impact on Africa and the rest of the world. The BBC is committed to continuing his legacy through the award by empowering journalists from Africa to tell original and nuanced African stories to reach international audiences. Now, Zambia TV host and reporter Digindamba Jonah Buyuya was last year's winner, the first time to come from Southern Africa. During his placement, he traveled to Seychelles to report on how the country's ocean plants could help tackle climate change. there as well. Conrad Dumo was an inspiration to me. In a statement, he said, okay, I encourage African journalists to apply for the awards. It is an incredible way of to learn and further develop skills needed to tell even more groundbreaking stories in Africa. Lillian Lando, a senior controller of the BBC News International Service, said, the award and our previous winners are fitting testament to Commonwealth's dedication to telling Africa's stories with depth and integrity. Duma was the presenter of Focus on Africa, BBC's first ever dedicated daily TV news program in English for African audience. It was broadcast on BBC World News, which later this year is merging with the BBC News channel to create a single 24-hour TV news service. He was also one of the lead presenters for BBC World News European Morning segment. Okay, so that is what is there for you. So if you are listening to me, you are an astounded journalist in your own way, and you think that you can do so, just apply for it, because the application ends on the 14th of February 23:59 GMT. Valentine's Day, right? Okay, so don't be thinking of Valentine and forget about that. All right, then. So make sure you do so. It is all coming away from Starr Radio, okay? It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, now let's bring this one your way as well. Now, African Football Governing Body, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has launched an investigation into political remarks made by Nelson Mandela's grandson during the opening ceremony of the African National Championship in Algeria. In a statement, CAF said it will assess whether there was a compliance with rules laid out by both CAF and World Governing Body FIFA. The Moroccan Football Federation sent CAF a protest that the comments made at the CAN opening ceremony on Friday, 13th of January, where Zeliveli Mandela was a guest of the local organizing committee. Both the ceremony and the tournament opening match, in which Algeria beat Libya 1-0, were held at the newly built Nelson Mandela Stadium in Algiers. In part of his speech, Mr. Mandela said, the last colony of Africa, West Sahara, let us fight to free Western Sahara from oppression. Okay, oppressing. Who is oppressing them? They think that they are okay. In the protest letter seen by the BBC, the FMRF claims that the statement on Western Sahara had no connection with the tournament or football in general and was targeted exclusively at the Kingdom of Morocco. Okay, well, that is a good enough one there. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds on the African continent. So now, search underway for 50 women abducted in Burkina Faso is the other story I want to bring your way. Security forces are searching for 50 women kidnapped by suspected jihadists and an insurgency hit northern Burkina Faso, as a regional governor said on Monday. As soon as their disappearance was announced, efforts were launched to find all these innocent victims safe and sound. The Sahel Regional Governor, Lieutenant Colonel Rodolphe Sogo, said in a statement, all means available are being used in the air and on the ground to find these women, a security source said. Now, aircraft are flying over the area to detect any suspect movement. Now, Sogo said more than 50 women were taken on Thursday and Friday around Abinda in an area under blockade by jihadist group and dependent on food supplies from outside. Now, while they were out looking for wild fruit, these wives, mothers and girls were wrongfully taken by armed men, the governor said. Now, several women managed to escape and return to their villages to raise the alarm. According to local officials, the army and civilian auxiliaries had carried out unsuccessful sweeps of the area. Now, since 2015, it has battled an insurgency led by jihadists affiliated with Al Qaeda, the Islamic State group that has killed thousands and displaced around 2 million people. It is the first really big kidnapping since the security crisis began. A senior officer close to armed forces headquarters has said everything must be done to avoid a tragedy or recurrence. That's what is coming from Burkina Faso. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 2 French journalists prosecuted for blackmail against the king in Morocco. Where is the blackmail? Mr. President defended Eric Laurent, former reporter for Radio France and Figaro magazine and author of numerous books. Well, you don't dare speak about them. They will be coming after you. So coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One other story, let me bring that your way because I did capture it when it was all going on. The Moroccan police have arrested 6 migrants from sub-Saharan Africa on Monday, accused of being involved in violence against the law enforcement officers during an evacuation operation of migrant camps in Casablanca, a local media has reported. The suspect threw stones at law enforcement officers who were conducting an operation to evacuate illegal migrant camps near the Olu bus station in the megapolis Casablanca, the Express News website reported. Now, 1 policeman was injured and 5 police vehicles were damaged as a result of the violence. The statement, the state-owned SNRT News said on its website. Now, the Moroccan Association of Human Rights denounced violence during the expulsion of migrants on Monday. The authorities are responsible for their gathering at these places as migrants arrested in several regions are being pushed back to Casablanca. AMDH, the main Moroccan human rights organization, denounced on Facebook. In images relayed by social network, African migrants can be seen throwing stones and chasing police officers on an artillery under construction of the tramway extension in Walad Zain. This outlying area of Casablanca is episodically the scene of tension between authorities and migrants who have settled illegally in scattered unsanitary camps. Well. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. 8 minutes to the top of the hour at a time. The morning show, the program. I am Archie. Now let's move on straight to Ghana as well and look at some of the stories making the rounds there. Now, when it comes to the debt exchange program issue that seems to be going on in Ghana at the moment, where people who have bought bonds, government bonds, are now being told, now you cannot take your money, you cannot get your gains from it or the profit that you earn from that to live your lives. Right? They are living their lives, right? I said I'll try to get one of the experts in finance to come and talk about that from Ghana to you, if you know or you have done so. An economist, Dr. Theo Champon, says the new deadline for the domestic debt exchange program will not be met. Why? This follows an announcement by the Ministry of Finance on Monday, January 16. The date for the program, which has been extended 3 times since it was announced, has faced strong opposition from various stakeholders, including individual bondholders who accuse the government of failing to engage them before including them in the program. They are demanding extensive engagement from government in order for an amicable solution to be reached. However, Dr. Champon, speaking this morning, said Taking into consideration the government's top-down approach in handling the program, reaching an amicable solution may remain a dream for a very long time. Currently, in my views, quote, he said, the process has been bungled because of the sort of I know it all attitude of the government, where instead of engaging and consulting widely with the people that are affected, a lot of other things were pretty much thrown at them. And this is people's monies, people's livelihoods that we're talking about. And so there was always going to be heavy resistance to it. But what people wanted to see was that the government to actually engage in an open and frank manner, rather than attempting to force the whole thing on them as a take it or leave it option. And that is really where we have a lot of the challenges now, he said. He explained that a lot of work needed to be done for the government's debt exchange program to be considered attainable and sustainable. Hence, the January 31st deadline will not be met. I don't think that the 31st January extension new date will be met, because there are very entrenched positions here, and fundamentally what this also means, in my view, is that the 55% debt to GDP number is not sustainable even by 2028. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen there? Now, if you are listening to me in Ghana, what is your take on all that? What is your take on all that? Well, some information coming through still pertaining coming from the opposition, also calling for legal action to be taken against government. And I know there are some legal brains who are also embarking on that path as well. But what do you think? What do you think? Now, let me bring you that one before more on that before we move on. Then the minority in parliament has said it is preparing to subject the debt exchange program to legal scrutiny. The minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, in an interview said that on Monday that per Article 181, subsection 5 of the 1992 Constitution, the minister needed approval from Parliament before announcing any haircut on all government bonds, loans, and instruments, since Parliament approved those bonds. So Article 181, subsection 5 of the 1992 Constitution requires that all international businesses or business or economic transaction to which the government is a party must be laid before Parliament for approval before it can come into effect. He believes the minister may have breached Article 181, subsection 5 of the Constitution. We are even beginning to elevate this matter to legal constitutional matter as to whether or not the Minister of Finance, Suomoto, by himself as an individual, can undo what the sovereign parliament of Ghana has done pursuant to Article 181, subsection 5 of the Constitution. In the quote, he said, all those loans, all those bonds, all those instruments, their terms and conditions were approved by Parliament, including debt of domestic bonds. Now, constructional relationship have been entered into. How can the finance minister allocate to himself the mandate to do this, even without information to Parliament or with its prior approval? Haruna Idrisu quests. Now, how do you think this is all going to be panning out? According to the Tamale South MP, Ken Oforiatta has also deceived Ghanaians since he first announced that individual bonds will not be included in the debt exchange. Now, when he appeared in Parliament with the 2023 budget, he was very terse with information on the debt exchange. He refused to even apprise Parliament of the parameters and details of the exchange. He misled and deceived the Ghanaian public that there will be no haircut, that individual bonds will not be affected. He is now back to include them. Now, government has extended the deadline for registration for the debt exchange program to January 31. This is the third extension of the deadline, but the minority at a press conference on Monday said the extension will amount to nothing and called for an immediate suspension of the program. We in the NDC, quote, he said, the minority group called on President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo to immediately suspend the ongoing debt exchange program. It is already failing, Haruna Indrisu stressed. Well, this is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We will be taking a break pretty soon, but let me announce the lines open. We'll take a couple of stories and then we take a break from there. Now, if you want to join in the conversation, this is 0208-133-2257 or 5802-08133-2257 or 58. Or if you happen to be in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, it's 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can text or WhatsApp us 0753-966-1744, 0753-966-17. For our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. So get in touch. Now, Brian Champon for Agriculture Ministry, sticker for finance, the expected moves in Akufo-Addo's first reshuffle. Now, the first major reshuffle of the Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration is in the often with speculation rife that the announcement could be made within the week. Now, within the New Patriotic Party and Ghanaians in general, there is an anxious wait for the changes President Akufo-Addo could introduce into his team for the first time in 6 years. Now, with the economy tanking to historical levels and rescue efforts hitting bottlenecks, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been the most vilified of all appointees of the Akufo-Addo government, and large sections of Ghanaians would like to see his back. But that is not going to happen, according to reports about the impending reshuffle. The President Akufo-Addo's belief in his relative to steer Ghanaians out of the economic crisis is unwavering, and he will not dismiss and or transfer him to any other ministry. Now, sources have told us that the reshuffle will not see any major changes at the ministerial level, with only a handful of changes at the top. There will, however, be significant movements in the persons in charge of handling state-owned enterprises. Some also claim that the reshuffle will be an expression of gratitude to members of the party who stood behind Ken Ofori-Atta when some members of the majority caucus and the minority made moves to unseat him last year. Holy moly. Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Before we take the break, the National Cathedral, the debate continues after all those clouds of corruption and all sorts that have gone on there. The Akufo-Addo is seeking to leave a monument in his honor. Theologian is saying, well, the story says a lecturer at the Ghana Christian University College, Reverend John Kofi Avoga, says that the president's quest in building a national cathedral will be useless because God has not sanctioned the construction of the cathedral. According to him, it is apparent that President Akufo-Addo is just seeking to leave a legacy for his regime despite the concerns of Ghanaians. His comments come on the back of the allegations against persons leading the construction of the National Cathedral. The National Cathedral Secretariat in a statement has responded to claims of conflict of interest and corruption on the part of Reverend Kusi Boateng, Secretary of the Board of Trustees, by the North Tongo Member of Parliament Samuel Kujato Ablakwa. In a reaction to the claims by the lawmaker, the secretariat level that payment made to JNS Talent Center, which the MP linked to Reverend Kusi Boateng, was a refund of a loan the company had given to the secretariat. Now, earlier on, Mr. Ablakwa claimed in a post on social media that Reverend Victor Kusi-Boateng appears to be using illegal means to divert funds from the National Cathedral project to his pocket. Well, did he? Didn't he? Was it a loan? Wasn't it a loan? Wow, you want to know more? You have to stay glued to Starr Radio, okay? But God willing, we'll be bringing you more about that in the days to come. But wherever it is, well, there's a question that is being posed by the Zongo man, which I will want you to help me answer this morning. Stay tuned.
Well, that move now this festive season to your new home address at GHS Housing Estates. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. Yes, as was announced this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, BB Clement will be coming your way with BB Means Business. Now, if you want to promote your business or anything on that platform, yes, promote your products and services, run adverts, play your jingle, do video marketing, access to sponsorship opportunities on the BB Means Business show. Make sure you get in touch. Yes, listenership of more than 3,000, where they discuss everything about business and entrepreneurship with affordable packages to suit any budget. This is a unique opportunity for you that you can't afford to pass by you. So make sure you get in touch with her and she will see to address that for you. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Coming to the last segment of the program this morning. Or now, let me call it this afternoon, moving on to other parts of the world to look at some of the stories there. Well, so in other parts of the world, the co-pilot who died was it Saturday or Sunday on that plane crash in Nepal? Apparently the husband also died of a plane crash as well. It's quite a sad one there. It's one of the stories making the round. But one of the big stories making the rounds this morning is one of the commanders, a Russian Wagner Group commander, requests Norway asylum. Now, a former commander with the Russian paramilitary Wagner Group has claimed asylum in Norway after deserting from the mercenary outfit. Now, Andrew Medvedev, 26, crossed the border into Norway last Friday, where he was detained by border guards. He is currently being held at the Oslo area, where he faces charges of illegal entry to Norway. His lawyer, Brian Jove, has said Mr. Reisnes said his client left Wagner after witnessing war crimes in Ukraine. The Norwegian border guard confirmed that a Russian man had been detained after crossing the country's 198-kilometer mile-long border with Russia, but said it could not comment further for reasons of security and privacy. Now, Tajimi Sema Televsen, police chief of staff in the Norwegian region of the Finnmark, said a man had been detained by a border patrol and said he had applied for asylum. But the Russian human rights group Gulagu, who helped Mr. Medvedev leave Russia, confirmed his identity. His escape is believed to be the first known instance of one of the group's soldiers defecting to the West. Now, Gulagu's founder, Vladimir Ozeskin, said that Mr. Medvedev had joined the paramilitary group in July 2022 on a 4-month contract, but had deserted after witnessing a host of human rights abuses and war crimes while serving in Ukraine. He said that Mr. Medvedev is a former soldier in the Russian army and that he later served time in prison between 2017 and 2018 before joining the Wagner group. Okay, he was placed in charge of Wagner division in Ukraine, where the mercenary group supplied him with around 30 to 40 troops every week. Mr. Oshikin said in a video posted by Gulagu to its social media channels, Mr. Medvedev said he fled Ukraine in November after being informed that the group intended to extend his contract indefinitely. He picked race. The man pick race. But well, so how come you away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London? Well, interestingly, we've been talking about this in the last week pertaining to some classified documents that were found in the house or the office of Joe Biden, the president. That was after he left office as a vice president back in the day. Now, the story says the White House has said that there are no visitor logs available for President Joe Biden's private home. Now, Republicans have demanded to see the logs to his Delaware home after classified files were discovered there. On Monday, the White House counsel's office has said that it is not standard practice to keep tabs of who visits the private homes of presidents. Now, at least 20 documents have been found at Mr. Biden's home and at an office he used in Washington. The documents date from his time as vice president and the Obama administration. Some of them are marked top secret, the highest level of classification, some news network have said there. And it goes on further to say news that's sensitive documents have been found in a private office at the Penn Biden Center, a think tank in Washington, emerged earlier this month. That was followed by a disclosure that a second cache was discovered at Mr. Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home. The White House said over the weekend that an additional 5 pages of classified materials were discovered on Thursday. By law, all White House files should be handed over to the National Archives at the end of a presidency. The White House said the files were inadvertently misplaced and that it is cooperating fully. Now, congressional Republicans have been calling for the White House to release visitors' log of Mr. Biden's homes. But the White House had until Monday refused to say if such information will be divulged. Now, President Biden's mishandling of classified materials raises issue of whether he had jeopardized our national security over oversight. House Oversight Committee Chairman Republican James Conner said in a letter to White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain over the weekend. Without a list of individuals who have visited his residence, the American people will never know who had access to these highly sensitive documents. But in a statement on Monday, the White House Counsel Office said that no such visitors logs exist. Now, like every president across decades of modern history, Mr. Biden's personal residence is personal. said Ian Sams, spokesperson for the White House counsel. The Secret Service, my apologies, has previously said it does not maintain logs of presidential private residence. In 2017, it said in a court filing that no visitor logs were kept at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence, where hundreds of classified files were found last year by the FBI. However, the agency does not have a permanent presence at Mr. Biden's homes in Wilmington and Rehoboth Beach and screens visitors before they enter. A special counsel is investigating Mr. Biden's handling of the files. The Republican-controlled House of Oversight Committee has said they will launch their own investigation. Tit for tat, butter for bread. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. They did it to Trump, and therefore this is the chance for the Republicans now also do it to Biden. So let's see what happens from there. But well, it depends on the content as well. But if it's top secret, then well. Now China's population has fallen for the first time in 60 years, with the national birth rate hitting a record low 6.7 birth per 1,000 people. Now the population in 2022 that was 1.4 billion, fell by 850,000 from 2021. China's birth rate has been declining for years, prompting a slew of policies to try to slow the trend. But 7 years after scrapping the one-child policy, it has entered what one official described as an era of negative population growth. The birth rate in 2022 was also down from 7.52 in 2021, according to China's National Bureau of Statistics, which released the figures on Tuesday. In comparison, in 2021, the United States recorded 11.06 births per 1,000 people, and the United Kingdom 10.08 births. The birth rate for the same year in India, which is poised to overtake China as the world's most populous country, was 16.42. Now that also outnumbered births for the first time last year in China. The country logged its highest death rate since 1976, which is 7.37 deaths per 1,000 people, up from 7.18 the previous year. Now, earlier government data had heralded a demographic crisis, which would, in the long run, shrink China's labor force and increase the burden on healthcare and other social security costs. Now, results from a once-a-decade census announced in 2021 showed China's population growing at its lowest or slowest pace in decades. Population are also shrinking and aging in other Eastern Asian countries such as Japan and South Korea. This trend is going to continue and perhaps worsen after COVID, says Yue Su, our principal economist and economics intelligence unit. Ms. Su is among experts who expect China's population to shrink further through 2023. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's come to the UK. Ken Bruce announces on air he leaves the BBC after 3 decades presenting Radio 2 morning week show. Nothing stays the same forever. Of course. Well, those are some of the stories making the round there. Snow and ice causes travel chaos and shut schools. The temperatures overnight dropped as low as -9, with weather warnings set to continue. It's one of the stories making the rounds there here in the UK. Now, train drivers to go on strike in February. Now, walkouts are planned for the 1st and the 3rd February after the ASLEF union calls to a pay offer clearly unacceptable. It's one of the stories making the round. And then pay rises at fastest pace for over 20 years. And where has the pay gone to then? Because it looks like, hey, they said there's pay rise, but people are clamoring and crying for more. So where has the pay gone to? Now, wages have grown at the fastest rate in more than 20 years, but are still failing to keep up with rising prices. Average pay, including and excluding bonuses, rose by 6.4% between September and November compared with the same period in 2021. It is the fastest growth since 2001, excluding during the height of COVID, but when adjusted for rising prices, wages fell in real terms by 2.6%. The gap between public and private sector pay is also near a record high. The private sector wages grew 7.2% annually in the 3 months to November, which was more than double that of the 3.3 increase in the public sector, according to the Office of National Statistics. Now, pay packets failing to keep pace with the rising cost of living has led to thousands of workers in both sectors striking over pay and working conditions in recent months. Now, strikes have disrupted everything from train services to postal deliveries and hospital care, and more industrial actions is set to take place in the coming weeks. In total, 467,000 working days were lost due to strikes in November 2022, the highest number in more than 10 years. On Wednesday and Thursday, members of the Royal College of Nurses will strike in England, while some ambulance staff in England and Wales plan to walk out on the 23rd of January. So that is the end of that story for you, but it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, and it's your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, one other story that I'll bring your way. Now, tech bosses could face jail after Tory MPs revolt on bill. The story says that tech bosses could face jail time for failing to protect children online after government conceded to a backbench rebellion. Nearly 50 Tory MPs wanted to amend the online safety bill to introduce 2-year sentence for managers who failed to stop children seeing harmful materials. The government had been facing defeat, with Labour also supporting the move. Under a deal with the rebels to stave off defeat, ministers have now promised to introduce similar proposal. It is the third time that the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has backed down in the face of rebellious backbenchers since taking power in October. It follows concession late last year on the issue of housing targets for councils and restrictions on onshore and wind farms. The bill will oblige managers of sites hosting user-generated content, including social media sites, to take proportionate measures to stop children seeing harmful material. The draft law says this could be through measures such as age verification, taking content down, and parental controls. Now, currently, the bill will only make managers criminally liable for failing to give information to media regulator Ofcom, which is set to gain wide-ranging powers to police the internet under the new law. Making managers liable for a failure to comply with broader safety duties in the bill was rejected after consultation ahead of the bill's introduction, which concluded it could make the UK tech sector less attractive. Now, companies failing in their legal duties, including protecting children, could be fined up to 10% of global revenue. However, the Tory rebels has said that only personal liability for company bosses will ensure the child safety provisions are effective. Wow. Okay, so you have to check everything that is going on, right? Yes, right. So let me say thank you very much for tuning in to watch us once again. It's been a pleasure coming your way. But enjoy this tune from Mika Paris, and it says something inside so strong. And when that song ends and you didn't hear from me, then it's been me Archie saying have a top of the day. But remember, exactly in the next hour, I'll be bringing you BB Means Business with BB Clement. Stay tuned and don't you go away. Bye bye for now.
Your barriers, the taller I become, the further you take my rights away, the faster I will run.